Lost Media, Thomas and Friends is interesting. So interesting to be put onto an iceberg. I'm pretty sure you guys already know what this is. Hello everyone, Dispam777 speaking, and today I am here with one of my best friends.
Ow, wait, this is my house? How did I get here?
Morning, Trainkid.
Good morning? How is it a good morning? You legit kidnapped me from my house while I was scrolling through eBay looking for a Bachman Percy. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave.
Wait. Okay, hear me out. If you help me out with this one video, then I'll let you go.
Okay, fine.
Before we start, I wanted to point out that before we had this iceberg, we had this iceberg that we were going to cover, but it was too complicated to do. But without further ado, let's get started with Layer 1. Thomas and the UK trip. This was a crossover special made combining Haraki Ponkiki, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and Thomas with exclusive footage specifically made for the special, since this was done during the production of Season 3. Thomas and the Magic Railroad's original script. Tatmar was originally going to be very different from the final film. For example, George the Steamroller was going to be in the film as one of Diesel the Ten's henchmen, but he would later turn against him like how Splodge did in the final cut. But it was dropped for unknown reasons. There was going to be another villain called P.T. Boomer, played by Doug Lennox, but it was cut for being quote-unquote too scary for children. Thanks a lot, test audiences.
The Sad Story of Henry pilot. There was an early adaptation of the story Sad Story of Henry in 1953 for British television, but everything sorta fucked up. You see, the adaptation was broadcasted live, and the model of Henry came off the rails and was re-railed by a crew member's hand, which you could see on screen. The broadcast was believed to be taped over by BBC, so as a result, the pilot could be lost forever, but who knows. The Missing Coach. My perfect Willie Rustin impression there. The Missing Coach was a cancelled episode by Brett Allcroft for being too confusing for kids. My theory is Donald and Douglas switching tenders wasn't really a good idea. Wilbert Audrey himself said it wouldn't make any sense, despite him writing it. Maybe you guys have a different theory on the topic, but you should probably watch Nick Starwin's video about it.
The life-size lady prop restoration. There was a life-size lady model of Lady B, built for Thomas and the Magic Railroad at one point. At one point, the prop was sold off for a Christmas parade. The prop was then sold off to a man in Los Angeles, and he kept the model in his backyard. A fundraiser was made to restore the model to its original state, but it scammed people out at least $6,000. God damn. Now we move on to Layer 2. A hand in Thomas and the Trucks. When Thomas zooms by Ellsbridge Station, a hand was seen on camera for a split second. If you want to see it, then you gotta slow the video down and look in the top right hand, no pun intended, corner. A link will be provided in the description for GWR's Studios video.
Toby model stolen from Drayton Manor. The Toby model that was used in the hit era was displayed at Drayton Manor after the series transitioned to CGI. By 2011, however, the prop was stolen and never found. I'm just hoping whoever has it is taking better care of it than Drayton Manor is. Unfinished Flying Scotsman in Tender Engines. The Flying Scotsman was going to be in the episode Tender Engines, but due to budget cuts, the engine was never finished. And only the tenders were ever seen on screen. It's strange because Gordon never knew Scotsman in the episode.
Drayton Manor. Do I need to say anything at this point? Drayton Manor is the home of Thomasland in the UK. There is an exhibition displaying some Thomas props used in the show. It is basically hell for the models, as the props are not treated very well, to the point where some of them were pulled off the display for restoration. canceled Jack and the Pack episodes. There was a spin-off series of Thomas and Friends called Jack and the Pack. The series was going to have 26 episodes, but the series stopped production after 13 episodes for unknown reasons. My theory is that fans were writing to them saying they want more of Thomas and his friends.
Down the Mine, 1983. There is a pilot of the story Down the Mine which served as a test for the series going forward. The pilot is known to be lost to time, but there are some clips that made it into the final episode. Layer 3. Bertram is Smudger. This is the theory of Bertram and Smudger possibly being the same engine. I think it has something to do with Bertram and Smudger having the same faces. Bertram appeared for 19 fucking seconds.
Thomas and the Magic Railroad takes place during Season 2. Here's another theory, this saying that Tatmar takes place during Season 2. Stuff like the viaduct not being stable, and engines 1 through 7 were included except for Edward. It was said that he might be in the works after the events of Edward's exploit. Edward not appearing in Tatmar. Engines 1 through 7 appeared in Tatmar except for Edward. According to one of the crew members that worked on the film, there was no prominent role for Edward to take part in. I think Edward could have worked better in the scene where Henry was explaining Lady to Percy and James.
Gordon Goes Foreign cancelled adaptation. Britt Allcroft and her team were originally going to adapt Gordon Goes Foreign for TV, but some plans showed due to budget cuts, again, they couldn't make Big City Engine. Even though it'd be pretty freaking easy, you just slap smoke deflectors on Henry and give him Douglas's face, but, here we are! It was cancelled altogether, possibly since they would have to build a whole new set for London Station. Look out for the train. This is another goof that happened in the episode Thomas and the Trucks. When Thomas is climbing up Gordon's Hill, you can hear a crew member say, "Look out for the train." This was fixed in the restored version.
Stanley's shed. Stanley was originally going to have a shed in the movie, The Great Discovery. The shed was built, but the prop was never used in the film. Pinchy being concealed under Diesel 10's roof. Pinchy was originally going to be hidden under Diesel 10's roof. There was concept art on this too, as seen here. Although, this design carried onto the book, Diesel 10 Means Trouble.
Thomas the Tank Engine, 1976. There was a pilot that was going to be animated by Brian Cosgrove. This was cancelled because the US market wasn't interested. This was basically another example of an attempt to adapt the Railway series for television. Layer 4. Thomas and the Stinky Cheese CGI test. Season 11 was originally going to be in full CGI. Thomas and the Stinky Cheese was one of the episodes to feature CGI, but they then decided to stick with the models. A video of the CGI test actually exists online, which will be in the description.
Barry the Rescue Engine. Wilbur Audrey was going to write in a new character for the Railway series, but the idea was dropped because kids wanted to see more of Thomas and his friends. Pierce Brosnan Season 12 narrations. Pierce Brosnan was going to narrate Seasons 12, 13, and 14, but he left the cast for some reason. Our theory was because he hated the idea of Thomas switching to CGI, but some of his narrations for Season 12 could be found online.
James fell off the set in Tatmar. The James model used in the smelting scene fell into the smelting pit like Diesel 10 intended. This resulted in damage to the model. Surprisingly, we actually have footage of it. Molly's prototype faces. Molly's face in the show shows that they didn't need to go around the whole smoke box, but in an early promo image as seen here, they do. That's right, kids. This is real. This is not Photoshop. And yes, you should be fucking scared.
Thomas's unused elderly face. This face was sculpted as a joke where the cameraman looked into the camera and he would get jump scared by it. The face was then used for a fan-made ghost train called Timothy. CGI Duke and Kevin Estimi. Duke, along with Peter Sam and Sir Handel, were originally going to appear in the episode of Kevin Estimi, but they were dropped. However, some storyboards exist online. Here's an image of it as seen here.
Dick joke in Scarf for Percy. This clip will speak for itself.
Engines don't wear scarves. Engines with proper funnels do. You've only got a small one. Emotional, damn it!
Moving on. Rupert Degas as the original voice of Diesel 10. Rupert Degas was originally going to voice Diesel 10 in Day of the Diesels, but he was changed for unknown reasons. He did voice Diesel 10 in Miss the Island Rescue, though, so you explain that one.
You'll be laughing on the other side of your boilers soon, silly steamies. Yeah.
Damage Thomas model after Trust Thomas. Not a lot to say about this because this clip speaks for itself. You can clearly see how it got damaged. Season 12, Annie Clarabelle Gray Faces. Oh god, there was concept art where they planned to make Annie Clarabelle have gray faces like the other engines because it was easier to animate, but this idea was dropped. Thankfully. Yeah.
Lady's prototype faces. Like Molly, Lady had some prototype faces, and yeah, they're kinda creepy. Racist deleted scene in Wubba. This basically speaks for itself. We won't show a clip, but we will instead give a link in the description.
Black pencil on the ground in Tapmar. This entry refers to this clip. Enough said. Victor and Hero and Kevin's face masks. There are face masks made for Hero, Victor, and Kevin made for their merchandise. Here's a behind the scenes picture of them.
Splatter and Dodge cancelled in Day of the Diesels and The Great Race. Splatter and Dodge were originally going to appear in Day of the Diesels and The Great Race, but were dropped for unknown reasons. The Final Layer. The Thomas and Friends Institute of Innovation. This is a film made to advertise Thomas and Friends. From what we know, it's about Thomas and cockroaches. The film was never released to the public, thankfully, but the only thing left from it is the trailer.
Suicide Nod in The Great Race. This entry refers to who in the song You Can Only Be You. Thomas in the song said, "Break me, shake me, and take me all apart." It could be a possible suicide knot or a way to teach kids to be themselves. Duplo Thomas in Scrap Lego Movie by Blur Studios. Blur Studios was originally going to make a Lego movie that was going to include a Lego Duplo Thomas in it, but the movie was scrapped for unknown reasons. I personally do not know why they scrapped it. The lead paint crisis in 2007. This entry revolves around how many wooden railway items in 2007 were recalled because children in some parts of the world got sick because of the lead in them.
Tasha Stone and unused music in Tapmar. Tapmar was originally going to have more songs in the film, examples like Night Train, The Island Song, etc., as well as a scene where young Tasha and young Burnett danced to a song called He Loves, She Loves. Journey Beyond Sodor was originally going to be the finale. There was a theory saying that Journey Beyond Sodor was going to be the final send-off to the series. This explains why it felt like a finale special.
The Adventures of Thomas scrapped film. So, what will happen if you put Thomas in World War II? Well, this film revolves around that. The film was going to release in 2010, then pushed back to 2012, then 2013, and then was eventually canceled altogether. That was kind of sad. So those were all the obscure stuff we covered today. Before I go, I'd like to thank Trainkid for being here.
It's been a blast being here, even though I've been kidnapped. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, link in the description.